Hello there, friends and followers. Welcome to my new series. I would just kindly ask you to sit back, relax, and listen to what I'm saying, and just watch me struggle with paint while I talk. A little bit about the artwork before we get into the topic. This is a self-portrait in gouache. It's actually one of the first times I'm using gouache. The past weekend I took the whole weekend to practice with gouache, and I struggle a lot getting a likeness with a brush in my hand. I don't know why that it's the case. Digitally, I'm usually much better, but maybe someone of you has a little bit more experience and can tell me why that is and what I'm doing wrong. I'm generally just using 3 colors plus white, as you've seen on screen. But even though this is a painting about myself and the title is also very self-centered, I want to assure you that this is not a video about me. It's about you, all of you actually, and who you are as an artist. The motivation behind this video is actually from Instagram. I get messages and DMs by followers quite regularly, and sometimes they're long paragraphs where they talk about how their dream is to become like me one day, and I notice they only see the good sides, not just for me, but for all other artists. They dream about this lifestyle and how it is to have X amount of Instagram followers. But what does it take to be that way? I don't think they consider the sacrifices in life that it takes. And I think it's Jeff Bezos who said it, and you can think about it what you want, but he's completely right when he says that all overnight successes are usually 10 years in preparation. Like, they spent 10 years sacrificing a lot of things. And it's the same for me and a lot of other artists. You have to sit back a moment and think about what you want your life to be like. Can you imagine yourself sitting in your room for nights and days, studying anatomy and learning how to paint and all kind of different ways of art and studying other people's art? Can you imagine spending nights and days in your room drawing when other people are out having fun? When all your friends are having girlfriends and partying, could you imagine yourself sitting in your room working on your art just to have a few thousand followers on Instagram one day? Is that worth it for you? Because that's what I did, and honestly, I don't regret it. I would do the same thing if I had to. I would do it exactly the same way. But I think many people they don't think it's necessary to do a lot of things. They want to take the easy route. They ask me for shortcuts. What's the easiest way to learn art? They don't notice that art is something that you learn over time, and you will never perfect the craft. It's something that you keep working on until the end of your life. You really just get better at it, and the more you do it, the faster you will get there. And I spent a lot of my teen and early adulthood years working on that. I'm 26 now, and I would say that since I was 18, so the last 8 years, or even more than that, I think the last 10 years would be more realistic, I spent most of that time drawing. Like, I think if I wasn't sleeping or eating or going to the gym, then I was probably either spending time with family or working on my craft. Art was always very important for me. I noticed that if I ever wanted this to be a career, I had to spend a lot of time on it. And I did that, and I do still to this day. I spend at least 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 hours a day drawing and talking to people and writing emails. That's also a big part of it now, and I can tell you something, guys, that happiness is something that is not really part of your early life as an artist. Like, you struggle hard to be at the certain level that you dream of. And I will tell you something, that even if you now dream of a life as an artist, you will never feel like you've got there. Like for me, I'm still there where I was. I still want to be better. I still don't think that I'm any good. I think there's a lot of room for improvement, and it was just that one day people started writing me how they appreciate the work that I do and they want to be like me one day. And in my mind, I'm just thinking, what the hell is wrong with these people? Who do they see there? Like, do they talk to the right artist? Are they talking to me because of my art, or did they mistake me for somebody else? And months after, those people were still writing, and at a certain point I realized that those people that I once looked up to, I'm at a similar position as they are, but I'm a nobody. Like, I didn't even have a job then. These days I work as an art director for a pretty big company, and I can say that I have a job in art that is something to brag about. Some people would, but like, it is something. I'm not an Instagram artist, so I can say I'm a professional in that way, at least, if that makes sense. But I don't think I'm anywhere close to some of the great artists, yet there are people who appreciate and like my art more than theirs. But was it worth for me? Like, I'm still struggling the same way you are. I'm still looking at my art thinking that it's shit. I'm also still looking at other people's art and thinking, man, I will never figure this out. I will never realize what my mistakes are. Like, how do I even do that? I've gotten better at it. I can look at my art now and analyze it quite well, and I can see my mistakes, and in the next artwork I will probably be more successful because I successfully analyzed it. Like, I can work on those mistakes, and that's something that comes with the years. But a lot of time was spent getting there. And I said this before, but guys, I missed out on a lot of things in my teen years. I see a lot of you playing games and asking me what the games I play. I think you don't even realize that I never had the time to play games, really. Like, I do take some time off from here and there to play some games that I really look forward to. It's not like I am not allowed to play games. I still allow myself time for fun. But especially in my early years, when I was very, very bad at art still. And that's not me saying that it's objectively bad art. You can go back and look at my old videos. Especially back then, this was something that I didn't allow myself. Like, I did play Minecraft from here and there, but I didn't want to play certain games because I knew I wouldn't have time for art. And are you willing to not watch anime, play games, watch Netflix, or spend time with your friends for certain nights? And guys, do you know how bad you feel once you say that you don't have time for the 6th time or 7th time? At a certain point, you will not even get invited anymore because people will just think you're busy and you don't want to spend time with them. But in reality, it's quite the opposite. It's not like it becomes a very solitary life. People think that you're too busy for them and that you're too good or whatever. But in reality, it's just something that takes so much time from you that you have to sacrifice a lot in that area. Maybe you should communicate with your friends that this is really important to you and you would like to spend some more time with it. And it would be amazing if you could even talk to your friends and maybe they could join you. Like, they could sit next to you while you draw and you listen to music or talk. Like, it's not something that that's impossible. But just make sure they are aware that you are not spending time drawing because you hate the time with them. You're spending time drawing because you want to make a career out of something that most people never achieve. Like, being a professional artist who can live from art is not something many people achieve in life. And that's something I've always had in my head. I used to think that I will work in IT, But then I saw that Photoshop was around and I became a graphic designer. I combined my creativity with my computer knowledge until I got a job offer for an artist position in a game studio where luckily I'm still there and I love it. The company is amazing. I love the people there. I love the work that we do. I get so many opportunities to grow as an artist. And all of that would never be possible if I didn't spend time working on my craft. I made sure that whenever the job came, I was prepared. I wanted to make sure that whenever a studio was looking for an artist, I was the best person for the job. And the thing is that you will never know if you're the best artist for the job. You don't ever want to be like somebody else, and you really have to be yourself. And because art is an expression of yourself and nobody else can express yourself better than you are, so you don't want to copy somebody else's work, because I say this a lot of time in other videos, but you will never be better than the original. So copying other artists is not something you want to do. You want to produce original art, but that original art that comes from you yourself has to be good enough for a studio to hire you. So you're in a constant, like, it's always a struggle. You don't ever know if you're good enough, and you have to apply, and you will get rejected a lot. And rejection is something artists face a lot. And I help other artists on my Discord server. There's a link in the description if you want advice on how to deal with certain things. But guys, this is really tough, and I think I don't want to drag this video any longer, but I've said a lot of things now in this video, and you should really sit back and think about your goals in life, what you want to do. If you're still young, I'd say, like, the younger you begin drawing, the better, because I've seen people who are 15 years old and they're way better than I am. But I personally started drawing with 18, like on a serious level. I always drew on the side and did funny sketches and cartoons and caricatures of people, but I never took it seriously. And with 18 I noticed that, especially when I started working digitally, digital art opened so many doors for me. I started a YouTube channel and started growing, and that's when the stress began. When I noticed that, damn, this could be a real job that I could do. But then I saw how much it would take to be there, like how much work is actually needed to get a job out of this. And for myself, I decided that this is the way I want to go. Like, I know it will be hard. I know that not many people achieve what I'm going for, but it's also not impossible. Like, have you ever seen the credits of a Disney movie? There's like 500 artists working there. Not really, but you know, it's a lot of people. And even if I could get a position as, I don't know, an in-between artist who draws the most ugliest and most useless drawings that nobody will ever see, in my mind, I've still made it at this point. And I think you should set your goals realistically. Know what you want to do in life. If you think you couldn't draw every day, maybe you should look into something else creative, because I honestly know so many people who've tried it and failed, and it's always so sad to see. But I know that many people could have achieved something if they only spent enough time. But you know, spending time is one thing, but doing the right stuff in the time that you spend, like spending your time productively. How do you spend the time? Like, always drawing anime will never get you a good job unless you're working in anime. But I can promise you that most artists who animate on animes are probably very good artists altogether. Like, anime is just simplified art. You have to know the rules and the basics of art, the fundamentals, before you can break it down and simplify it. And I think many people spend time drawing useless stuff that will never get them anywhere. And I spent one-on-one session with certain artists, and quite a few in the past as well, but also now with my mentorship sessions where I really try to make professional artists out of people. And I've noticed that a lot of people are approaching it the wrong way. They are spending so much time drawing stuff that they will never need in life, but also they don't even know the fundamentals, but they focus on stuff that is way above their level. And I think it's one of the best things you can do is to hire or to pay an artist or to watch courses about how to proceed in your life. Like, it can save you so much time. You could literally save 10 years of practice by asking a professional to look over your work and to give you his honest opinion. And this is why I started the Discord server, where I give people tips here and there, but also the mentorship sessions where I really prepare. I look at the people's work, I analyze it, and I come back and I come prepared to the session and I give them honest advice. Like, I will straight up say, yo, this is not for you unless you change it. Change up what you do. Or I will tell people, man, you're amazing, don't be afraid, put other stuff in your portfolio. I've reviewed portfolios for the company I'm working for, and I've reviewed a lot of portfolios. I've even helped hire some people who almost didn't get a job, or people who would have gotten the job but are not good enough. So I've been in that position. I know what people look for. So I help people with their portfolio, and in the end, I think I'm qualified to tell people how to proceed. So this is also the reason why I'm making this video, because I see so many people in my DMs who dream of certain goals in their life. Maybe they are quite young and they're not just set yet, but I've seen 20-year-olds who say they want to be professional artists, but when I tell them to practice from real life, so they can take a photo and draw that thing, they say, no man, I will never do that, I will always draw anime. But do you know how many anime jobs there are in Europe or in the US? You have to know the fundamentals. Like, if you cannot replicate certain things, then I don't think the goals are realistic. And people say they will do everything it takes to be an artist. But with this video, I wanted to go a little bit into detail what it took for me to be an artist, what you can expect when you're an artist, I think. And I probably derailed a little bit from the topic, but I always kind of do that. I hope you still enjoyed it, but I don't know. I think many people have it in them and they don't believe in themselves, and there are a lot of people who really believe in themselves, but I'm not sure if it's the right thing for them. So if you're interested into talking with me directly, message me on Discord or on Instagram, and please, I'm open. Like, DM me and we can talk about it. You can send me your work at any time. I've always said that. I always review people's work, no matter who you are. If you send it to me and if you ask for feedback, you will get it. But yeah, I hope you have a wonderful time. I know this video is getting quite long. I might edit it down a little bit. I hope you enjoyed the artwork in the background. Please like and subscribe. My numbers are recently, I mean, it's almost breaking my heart seeing how low they are compared to what they used to be on YouTube especially. So please guys, if you watch this far, I would appreciate a like and a follow or a subscribe, depending on where you watch. Share this with your friends if you have art friends. And I look forward talking to you on Discord, or yeah, thank you guys for everything, and you're certainly a big part of why I'm here, where I am. And yeah, thanks. That's all I have to say. Have a wonderful day. Bye.